Hi, Vieira with the Stock Market Live.tv. Today we are going to discuss a bit the comparison between this service for very small investors, Bull and Bear, the standard versus the high performance plan. You have it here, you can visualize it on the website, Bull and Bear standard plan versus high performance, all right? There is a huge difference between these two plans, very important ones that I'm going to try to explain here in detail. Firstly, we have seen many people subscribing to the standard plan, which is normal, but we also have seen many people subscribing to the high performance plan, including, or most people that in fact are subscribing to the high performance plan are subscribers to other services, including, for example, the course Live Technical Analysis or SMS Live Trading and so on. I strongly recommend one to subscribe to the high performance plan, all right? Because there are differences important, and I'm going to explain it here in detail, because in the end the price is basically the same, okay? If you make the calculations, we are talking about the same price. Number one, you have more stock picks in the high performance plan. You have there a maximum of 5 stocks. In fact, we have more than 5 stocks, we have 6. We are not obliged to go above 5 stocks, but I believe that there are currently 6 stocks. Standard stocks for Bull and Bears, high performance stocks for Bull and Bears. It is a very important difference. I'm going to exemplify. The case of Panera Bread, as you are aware, a company that was recently acquired, it was discussed in the high performance plan, okay? So, very important because, my friends, I believe that it is obvious. I don't even have to, quite frankly, to comment on it. Charts not included by default in the standard plan. Charts with main trend lines and alerts are included in the performance plan. These charts, they might be referred to swing trading or short-term trading. More often, they refer to short-term trading for your personal guidance. But one of the most important difference, which is not in fact discussed here on the table, for example, today I've been discussing already this in Live Technical Analysis course in detail, the process of investing in US steel and the chart, my own chart, which I could show you here, although I'm not going to do it for confidential reasons, but you have it in fact on Twitter channel. But an explanation of the chart itself, it is remarkably important, and therefore you have it as an example in the high performance plan. In the standard plan you don't have, and you know that sometimes in 1 minute I solve the most important or complex subjects in investing. So I'm not trying to convince you to subscribe to the high performance plan. I'm referring to facts as they are, okay? The standard plan, basic guidance and notifications on site. In the case of the high performance, you have premium guidance and notifications outside. It means that the words utilized might be different, and you know that by referring to or utilizing some words. Sometimes we change the sentence. It gives a completely different perspective to the investor compared to others. No indicative price target, and in the high performance, indicative price target. Well, here I also have to explain that you are not going to have price targets for every stock, okay? So we gave price targets, for example, in the case of Panera Bread, $313 ahead of the buyout. But we are not obliged to have price targets in every single situation, okay? Because there has to be a difference then between this service for very small investors compared to other service. So the price targets, in fact, they are indicative, and there is a difference between the price target utilized in this service bull and bear in general, compared, for example, to a service as platinum. Okay, so the higher the service is, the more information you obtain, and the higher the quality of the information. All right, so there has to be an explanation with regards to price targets that often people they ask about. Standard plan historical updates up to 1 week. Okay, so for example, in comparing to historical of updates up to 1 month, this is also very important. Okay, let's say that I subscribed as of today. For example, you don't know what happened last week. If last week we had, for example, a stock like Amazon that was in the service and externally profitable, you don't know what happened. Okay, or for example the case of Twitter, I don't know, or any other stock that appeared there. It was the history, it was removed, okay, disappeared. And if it continues, for example, if today you have there a stock peak and next week remains, well, the history meanwhile is deleted. So if I subscribe next week, I don't know about the history, for example, the previous week, and that is rather important. Okay, because of the comments, because of the stock pivots and certain things that they are said, and therefore, my friends, I think that I cannot be more explicit than this. Standard support versus premium support. Also, again, very important difference here. Bear in mind that support here is not support as in Goldman Sachs that you call a call center, okay? And you have a girl with nice boobs answering, and probably also answering to Donald Trump, grabbing them by, you understand what I get? What I mean? Here you have support by a professional, okay? Professionals that they don't exist elsewhere, right? Instructional introductory video. Well, this one it is not yet available because I'm working in a process that I'm not going to discuss here since it is not part of the explanation here. Requires trading expertise, both cases. One can be paid by PayPal only, the other one by wire transfer only. With regards to trading expertise, what I have to say here is obvious that you have to know how to trade or to invest in the market, and in particular these plans are for people that they are looking for information, but they have already, accounts in brokers. They know how to place an order, or sell short a stock, okay, that stuff. Moreover, in both cases, although an exception that I'm going to explain or address in the case of the bull and bear high performance, they don't include access to courses, okay, or to the methodology. Therefore, you are on your own. What you get and what we are going to do is to write a kind of manual or some rules for your own guidance and to help you in certain matters, okay? But you don't have access to trading course, okay? Because it is not included in these plans. Maybe in the future there will be a different plan which will address this matter, okay? Having said this, I was going to say, although, like I said, it is not present here, in the bull and bear high performance, you have what we call, sometimes you might have trading lessons, which might make a rather difference between both plans. And also we have noticed that, hold on a second, we also have noticed that there are people that subscribe to, and I'm saying this also because of the occurrence of this situation, people that subscribe to the standard plan and then they upgrade to the high performance plan, which might discuss the same stocks or different stocks, okay? All right, you might find the same or different, okay? Having said this, there is also a support portal which addresses most of your questions, okay? You have it here at the bottom, not only here, in fact, answers to common questions, as well as support portal with many questions and answers to those same questions, as well as you have some case studies and comparison to competitors, whatever it is, Goldman Sachs or Cohen Research on US Steel, and so on. What else to say here? That in this service, although for small investors, you find, for example, you visualize in this page here Tesla, okay? And Tesla is a stock, a very volatile one, and in fact, or the case of Amazon. And these stocks that they are very volatile and often, you know, a preference of professionals, the fact is, since our accuracy is so high, that we obviously wanted people to include or to participate in certain things that happened in these companies, okay? So eventually, like I said, you may find, although we are not obliged to, these kind of companies or high flyers, you know, the most important companies in the world, you may find them eventually also in the service, but more often, quite frankly, in the high performance versus the standard plan, okay? Having said this, when you log in, there is a page where you have instructions how to use. Like I said before, this is still a kind of pilot project in the sense that a lot has to be done here, which I addressed already in other videos, with regards to matters as self-driving trading and so on, and tables and integration and so on. So today you have things written in a web page and some videos and charts. And I was going to say that to address one of the requests of my colleague, that people that subscribed in the first week to the standard plan, they upgrade to the high performance plan. If you do it in the first week, we don't charge anything. If you do it after the first week, well, then you have to pay the entire price for the high performance plan, okay? So this is also said again, or mentioned in one of the questions, I believe, in the support portal. If I'm not mistaken, you have to ask the meter. The other one, I believe, to finalize, otherwise we are going to extend this too much. Can I renew a monthly subscription? Well, you can renew the monthly subscriptions here, and only the monthly subscriptions, they are automatically renewed, okay? So if you cancel for some reason, you go on holidays, I don't know, you want to cancel in the sense or stopping the renewal, you can do it, all right? But unfortunately, we cannot proceed in the sense of helping you to renew again when you come back, okay? Because there are many people interested in the service, and so you lose your, or likely to lose your place in the service. That is a decision that you have to make, that is up to you. In fact, it is the only service where this is happening, okay? Not in other service, but this is where it happens. And also, whether there is a roadmap, there is a roadmap with regards to evolution of the service as well as in others. But here, since it is a pilot project, there is a roadmap where you have to be patient with regards to these matters. And also to say, just to finalize, to be clear, that earnings call are not included in the service, okay? So, for example, you might see a stock that announced earnings, and then it appears in the service after it reported earnings and not ahead of earnings, because earnings were not included in the service, and vice versa. For example, the stock it was in the service, and then ahead of earnings it was removed because it was not in the service. As well as you might in the end also see the situation of the stock to be in the service and going through the earnings in the service, okay? So that pretty much, I would say, depend on the time that the stock has been there or the profits obtained during the process and so on, okay? And our, in the end, decision to do so, okay? But there is a list of things said, for example, when you log in and you go to the course, to the service, there is certain things that they are said, like you are not obliged to assume positions in any of the stocks mentioned here. Okay, so if you, for example, dislike all the stocks, I don't know, here you are not obliged to do so. And also it is said that, for example, a bull of the day, and this also I believe to be important because the service is called bull and bear. Bull of the day and bear of the day. There is no bull of the day and bear of the day. Okay, there is more the term of bull and bear. Okay, so it does not change every single day. All right, and sometimes a bull can be in fact a bear in the sense, or a temporary bear because there is a correction, and vice versa. You can have a bear and can be a kind of a bull today because there is going to be a bounce. Okay, so these things are obviously normal. Okay, so we don't change like other service or scams, like the case of just to refer an example, Zacks with the recent one on US Steel, telling people to strong buy rating through earnings, and in fact since the very top, and then there is a crash, everyone is long the stock, and then you have people on the web, as you can confirm, complaining about it, and they lost their money. Okay, so you understand what I mean? So you have to be very clear, or it has to be transparent, what it is included, what it is not included, and obviously our objective is to help people and also to give you some guidance in the process of trailing stops and so on. Okay, for very small investors. What else to say? Well, that you cannot compare or expect what you get in this service compared, for example, to others, okay, with a very different price or value. Again, utilizing the example of US Steel, you cannot compare it, for example, the service SEMS Live Trading to bull and bear. Okay, there are completely different, not only objectives as values, all right, behind them. And with this I terminate. Thank you very much.